Chris Johnson wants to know, what are your thoughts on parasocial relationships? Don't think I know what that is. As a member of your audience, I feel as though I have a pretty good idea of who you are as a man. I've heard stories of your childhood and your life, but I've not yet had the pleasure of meeting you. Have you had any issues due to an overzealous viewer, or do things like Facebook Live events, speaking events, and TSL help you to overcome the constraints of parasocial relationships with your audience? Very respectfully, Chris Johnson. Chris, the most wonderful personal experiences I get from this job is when I go out on the street and do speaking events, and people, especially Strata loungers, come up and say hi. It's like, hi, I'm Eyes and Fire, and I'm this, or and it's like meeting old friends. This is going to sound like I'm buttering you guys up, but it's the absolute truth. I can understand how you feel like you would know a lot about me, having spent 140, 39 episodes talking about my personal life. But the fact is, I feel like I know you guys as well. A lot of it comes from the comment stream, and a lot of it comes from the questions. The questions and the comments give me a strong indication not only of what this audience is like, but what individuals in the audience is like. There's Steve Darrow said, I flew to ASU to see Bill. It was great. It was great to see you, Steve. And I love meeting people at live events. Love it. It's always the high point of my month or year. It's unbelievably flattering, and not once have I not been just completely impressed by the quality of the people I meet. If you haven't been catching up on these stories, Chris, the best day of my life I think I spent with Foghorn here as Viper Check in our comment stream. I just felt like I'd known him forever, and it was terrific. And a couple people are coming in to say, yeah, we got to meet, and it's absolutely my favorite thing. So on the contrary, not only do I not shy away from it, I absolutely cherish it. And if you're anywhere in the neighborhood, I promise I'm going to do a better job of announcing where I'm going to be. We really have got some serious improvements coming, I think. But it would be an absolute pleasure to see you. And I seem to recall from your thumbnail that you've got a lovely wife, and by all means, trot her down there, and we'll sit and talk afterwards. I like to be the last person out of that room. It's a point of pride for me. I take customer service very, very, very seriously. And when people say, can you stick around for a couple of pictures? It's like, oh, I'll be the last person out of there. I'll be the last person out of the room. So, and I am. So come on down, and I'd love to meet anybody. And nothing really is kind of a thrill. Every now and then, a couple times a year, I get somebody comes up to me after an event, and they're holding a copy of Silent America, which means they've been around watching this goat rodeo for 14 years now, 13, 14 years. It's very, very moving for me, and I just absolutely love it. So, Chris, I'd love to see you. I'd love to meet you, and that goes for all of you guys out there. It's an absolute pleasure. Let's see. I'd like to do a speaking tour, by the way. It's I get offers to come and speak at events, but I've never really put together a tour. I think we might be able to make that work financially, but that's a specialized thing. It's something else that I have to look into. I've got so many things going on, but I'm actually starting to get some real help here.